I've been a Mac user since Windows Vista set me running. And I've grown adept at recording audio in Logic Pro, editing video in Final Cut Pro, and generally all things Mac. I've been more than happy with these machines. Recently, something's happened though that, while not necessarily challenging the place of the Mac in my workflow, it's brought me to a realization I never thought I'd come to. I need a PC. Hi, I'm Steve. Welcome to my studio. If you've watched my channel for a while, you know that my guitar nerdery knows no bounds. And by that, I mean, when it comes to guitar tone, I'm very open-minded. I love tube amps. I also love amp modelers. Sure, I've got my favorites, but I'm willing to give any of them a try. I've used a Kemper of some form or another, toaster, power rack, or the Kemper Stage, on every gig I've played in every city, state, even continent since early 2019, and I've loved it. Last year, I decided to get in on the buzz, so I tried the quad Cortex from Neural DSP. Guess what? I freaking love it. And there's another platform that's made a lot of noise lately, and that is ToneX from IK Multimedia, who were one of the very first companies doing amp modeling. Their Amplitude software is legendary. Now, to create tone models from your own amps, ToneX does it a little bit different. Whereas the Kemper and the Quad do it all on device, IK took a different approach with ToneX, where it uses the processing power of your computer to train the tone models. This is genius. Doing it this way allows IK to build the ToneX hardware for a fraction of what the competition costs, even their mini devices, which means more guitarists can afford to get in. A few months ago, I made a video showcasing a couple of ToneX tone models I made for my friend Pete Evick, who plays with the Bret Michaels Band. He loved them so much that he plays these now on every gig to tens of thousands of people every night. But there's one caveat. If you're using a Mac, the process works great, but it's going to take a long time. Now, this has nothing to do with Macs or PCs being faster or slower, or with Apple not allowing access to core hardware functionality. In fact, it's got nothing to do with Windows or Mac OS at all. It's because just like a lot of software that uses machine learning, which is a core component of AI, the ToneX modeling software utilizes the CUDA cores of NVIDIA GPUs to run the training algorithm. In a nutshell, a CUDA core is a fundamental processing unit within an NVIDIA GPU designed to run parallel processing tasks. Think of it as a mini CPU optimized for handling large amounts of data simultaneously, which is essential for machine learning tasks. Macs don't use NVIDIA GPUs. Now, I've been a Mac user since 2007, and I've never even thought about getting a Windows machine, but the fact is, if I want to do anything with ToneX more than run the occasional default level capture, I need a PC. So I knew I needed a Windows machine, but I had no idea which way to turn until I saw a great video from Dan Kaminsky on his YouTube channel, The Lonely Rocker. Dan's a super guy. He's a fantastic guitar player, and his YouTube channel is great. I'll leave a link below in the comments. Make sure you check him out. Anyhow, Dan was facing pretty much the same thing as me. He wanted to make ToneX captures, but he wasn't really relishing the idea of taking hundreds of extra hours doing it on a Mac. So I figured if it's good enough for Dan, then it's definitely good enough for me. So I went to the Kreative Devices website and knew pretty much immediately I was on to something. The main tagline on their website proclaims customizable computers for creatives, built with passion. Built with passion. I thought, well, all right. All right. I'm on to something here. So I did a little more digging around and I found a short endorsement video from Warren Hewitt of Produce Like a Pro. Now, Warren knows his stuff. And then I learned that the company was founded by a guy named Kagan, who's also a guitarist.
Jackpot.
So after learning all this, I reached out to Kreative Devices. Actually, I reached out late last year and they were very friendly and receptive. But then the whole heart attack thing happened and, well, yeah. But as soon as I was ready, I reached out and spoke to Patrick. He was very kind and we picked up right where we'd left off. Now, something else I learned while looking at these machines is that compared to similarly spec computers from other manufacturers, these things are really affordable. To be honest, with the specs of these machines, I've got no idea how they do it so affordably. So, what did I end up going with? I'm glad you asked. This is the Kreative Devices Notebook Pro G16. It's got a beautiful 16-inch display. It's packing a 12th generation Intel i9 processor, which can run up to 5 gigahertz, and there's 64 gigabytes of 48 megahertz DDR5 RAM and a 2 terabyte SSD. As for the GPU, it's packing an NVIDIA RTX 4060, so for creating ToneX amp models, it should be blazing fast. They can do either laser etching or UV printing, which is then baked in, so you can personalize your machine however you want. The casing's made of some type of super strong alloy. There are 2 USB 3.2 ports, 1 USB 2.0 port, USB-C, RG45 Ethernet, and HDMI 2.1. It's got a webcam. I'm not sure the specs on that. It's also got an SD card reader, color-changing backlit keyboard, fingerprint reader, 802.11ax Wi-Fi. It's got a 6,000 milliamp hour battery, 180 watt power adapter, 16.1 inch, 2560 by 1600 IPS panel with 16:10 aspect ratio and 165 hertz refresh rate. It's got 2 SODIMM slots for up to 128 gigabytes of RAM, and there's an extra M2 port if I want to add another SSD. Yeah, this ain't no lightweight plastic POS. This is a serious machine. Now remember, I've been using Macs for almost 20 years, so learning my way around modern Windows was a little bit of a challenge, but I'm a guitar nerd. I love that kind of thing. And I do have to give props to Microsoft. Windows has come a long way. I haven't seen one BSOD, nor have I had to give it the old 3-finger salute. Based on my prior experiences with Windows, that's huge. Now, this machine just smokes. It boots really quickly. Apps launch almost immediately. It feels zippy, smooth. It's just super fast. And for creating ToneX models, well, I've been doing a pretty major reconfig here of my guitar rig, so I've only had a chance to run a couple of modeling sessions so far. But to create a tone model of my MESA Boogie Badlander on my M1 Max Mac Studio in advanced mode took roughly an hour and 25 minutes. On this laptop, it took a hair over 16 minutes. So 85-ish minutes versus 16 minutes. Even for a one-off, that's pretty huge. Now imagine a situation where I'm creating 25, 30, even 50 tone models. But that time savings is monumental. Now I want to give a quick shout out to Patrick and the rest of the crew over at Kreative Devices for working with me and making this happen. This is an amazing machine. I got it for ToneX, but it's going to do a lot more work around here. I'll be honest, at first I really wasn't all that crazy about bringing a Windows machine in here, but once I received it and started working on it, I'm psyched. And moving forward, I can see myself using this for a lot more than just ToneX. Now, Kreative Devices doesn't limit their selection to just laptops. They've also got a pretty impressive range of mini PCs, portable touchscreen displays, and a bunch of accessories, add-ons, and apparel. In fact, I've got their laptop cooling pad on order now. Anyhow, I hope you've enjoyed this little walk on the other side of the nerd spectrum. I think this is a very, very impressive machine, and I highly advise you to go to their website, check it out. I'll leave a link down below, and then let me know in the comments what you think. And as always, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.